Testing, testing. Okay. Here are 8 points you have to accept if you really want to leave MAGA. Number one, you have been lied to. Ever since you started listening to Fox, or ever since you started listening to Trump, or joined MAGA, or voted for him, or whatever it started you on this path, or perhaps your entire life, you've been lied to. The breadth and depth of which is pretty staggering. And I'll get back to some of it, but you have to accept the fact that you've been lied to. Number two, don't expect forgiveness from those of the public who is not MAGA. I'm not going to say left and right that much, because it's really not left and right anymore. It's MAGA and everybody else. MAGA's a cult, and I'm assuming in this conversation that I'm having in my head that you know that as a cult, and you're looking for a way out, and you want to know where to go. But anyhow, don't expect forgiveness from folks that are not MAGA or understanding. A lot of people have been hurt. A lot of people have been insulted repeatedly. You know, they've had their livelihoods affected. People have died. Lots of people died because of the policies of MAGA. So don't, if you want to go to a anti-MAGA event or something, or a protest, if you want to go to a march or something, and you want to tell folks that you just got out of the cult, that's something you have to understand. Next, number 4, you have to drop all the hate. You're almost certainly white. And you're probably a guy. Although, maybe the women have more emotional intelligence. I'm not really sure. Is that sexist? I don't know. But the people who were hurting you weren't. And that's all racism is. It's a lie about people hurting you who are not hurting you. Look at me. I'm as bland as vanilla. I know what white people have suffered, and it hasn't been anything at all. I mean, no, we do not suffer at all at the hands of any other racial or ethnic or social group. I'm not going to argue every specific point you could possibly raise, because, like as I said, you've been lied to. You've been fed a huge diet of lies. I can't deflect every single one. It's designed to be too big for me to deal with. So, you've been lied to. The conclusion is that being white does not make you special, nor a victim. In fact, we're privileged, because the system has been set up by the billionaires. And if you want to do stuff outside of MAGA, you have to drop all of the hate. Doesn't matter against which group. I believe we're number 5. Anything that says one group of people, this is still on the subject of interracial hate and other hatreds. Anyone that says one group of people are more or less selfish than any other is a lie. Anything that says that. Anything that says that people can't determine who they are for themselves is a lie. This includes sexual orientation and identification. If they say they're a lady, they're a lady. It's something in here. I know you guys believe in the soul, and it's in the soul. It's not up to you to decide. Oh, you know what? Maybe. And if you do believe in the soul, I'm not particularly religious myself, but if you do believe in the soul, I really think that is between them and their God. Okay? It's not for you to decide. Not for you to decide at all. Um, also, trans women being a threat to non-trans women in public bathrooms, not a thing. That's another lie. A lot of these threats, these potential events, never happened. They're lies. I mean, remember the rapture we just had, quote unquote? Another lie. Same sort of thing. Remember how the tariffs are supposed to help? A lie. Trans women attacking non-trans women in bathrooms? Lie. It fits a pattern. It always favors white men. There's a lot more to it, but that's basically it. Speaking of which, and I say it, all groups of people are trustworthy or equally trustworthy. I have one group I have to hold out: psychopaths. It's a medical diagnosis. And MAGA, you have been following one. You realize that you were in a cult. Well, your cult leader is a psychopath. He seems to suffer from what doctors call the dark triad of mental health issues. I'm going to put in a graphic here or something to show what that exactly means. He's not well. He's very much not well. On top of the COPD and whatever else he's got going on right now with his upper respiratory, his whole everything else. This never worked very well for him. But that allowed him to be ruthless in business and not very good at it. Another lie, by the way. He was never good at business. He was just very persistent at self-promotion. That's it. Very persistent at self-promotion. I suppose that's a skill, but I don't really think that's a value add to anything. He is persistent at self-promotion. The products he comes up with aren't even all that good. You know, he does not make quality. His ideas are not smart ideas. Again, unless you believe it. I mean, the gold tennis shoes, I mean, come on. Right back to the lies. So, you're following a psychopath. Speaking of psychopaths, if you do come out to march, please leave the guns at home. In fact, leave the guns at home all the time. As you know, the left, the radical left, is in favor of stronger gun legislation. I don't really see how that fits, but again, you've been told a lot of lies, especially about us. You know, we don't eat babies, for one thing. If you've heard a horrible thing about somebody on the left, put it in the comments below. I'll explain why it's a lie. You know? Unfortunately, one group of people is responsible for almost all the political violence. I say almost all. There's like 3 to 6 events in the last decade of political violence that were caused by somebody who was possibly leaning left, and 336 by right-wing extremists. That's just in a decade. And you know, we've had a busy decade. That's not even counting all the school shootings. I'm betting most of them were white guys with guns. Lonely, angry white guys with guns. This is a real big problem in the United States. I'll say this. Most other countries deal with it by just taking away the guns. I would like to do a more thorough approach to the solution. Like, find those lonely, angry guys outlets that are not violent and get them help. The ones that are lonely and angry because of diagnosable conditions. Yeah, there is a mental health issue to it, but the craziest person in the world yelling bang bang can't do anything. You know, if a crazy person can get a gun, then you got a problem. Um, so anyhow, if you're a member of the NRA or hunt a lot or whatever, or are really angry or anything about anything, leave your guns at home. Violence is not going to help right now. For right now, it would lead into what our oppressors want. You know, bring donuts, make fun of them, pretend that talk about them being cops or something, or pigs, but don't bring guns. Don't never no violence, no guns. Uh, 7. This doesn't end right now. No matter what happens, it's not ending now. Let's say in a few weeks to months to a year and a half to 2 years, whatever, um, Trump is gone for whatever reason. You have to stop voting for Republicans. That's what got us into this mess. What was formerly the party of keeping things the way they were has morphed into the party of making things the way they want to believe they were, which is a fascist dystopia, which is not healthy for anybody, yourself included. You also have to stop watching or listening to or, reading or listening to all the right-wing media because they are still selling you lies. Even the ones that are going to pretend right now that they're going to try and put some distance between themselves and Trump. What they've made their entire career on lies. If you don't keep your shields up, I would say it's on you, but we're trying to get you out of a cult here, right? We're trying to get you out of a cult. Just follow along. And don't listen to those shows or any of that again. And finally, in 9 days, on October 18th, there is going to be the second No Kings March. You should come. You can find more about it on mobilize.us. Maybe you can find some people like yourself. Maybe you guys can start to learn some of these lessons. If you can't do these 8 simple things, you're never going to get out of the cult. And, well, you know what that road already looks like. Do you want to have the rest of your life spent there for you and the rest of the country? I hope you say no.